Hi, I'm Maddie Hockaday, also known as the Anne of this relationship.
And I'm Holly Constant, the Leslie.
We love Parks and Rec. We love behind the scenes.
And we love each other. This is literally the best Parks and Recreation rewatch show.
We're your park pals.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too. Okay, cool. Okay, well, should we just jump right into it?
Let's do it.
There's some parks and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
I know. You know what? I think that we should start playing the theme song before we record because it's a really good way to get into
Get in the mood.
The vibe.
Also, I'm really jealous of you that you have today off.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Why do you have today
Indigenous Peoples Day, aka Columbus Day. Yeah.
I'm happy we changed that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't recognize it as that, but that's okay.
I don't even know today was Columbus.
I feel like it's a good way to just get loose, figure out some new dance moves.
I like that.
Okay, here we go.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
What's it gonna play next? Because I think it's on my iTunes. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, great. Yeah. So it's Indigenous Peoples Day. Anyways, okay. Well, oh my God, season 2, episode 13, the setup. We're here. We're doing it. I call this, I've called a bunch of them this, but I feel like this is like a guest star extraordinaire
I know.
moment.
So much happens in this episode. So many
people. And this cold open, I mean, we'll get there in a second, but this cold open is so intense with information, I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, they just jump right in. They're
Right
like,
in.
here we go, starting the story now.
Yes. Oh
Can
my
we
gosh.
also talk about the fact that I think Sean, this is another Troy Miller episode?
It is.
Oh, is it really?
totally
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I noticed that as well. That's so wild.
Yeah.
And I didn't plan to have you on.
No.
Troy Miller is calling you.
See?
That's crazy.
Maybe you should reach out to
Yeah, I
Sean
should. Hey, man.
see what's going on.
There's some sort of connection in the air between the two of you.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we have a bit of a recap from Christmas Scandals. So last time we talked about how we were wondering, and I posted this in the stories, but just to reiterate, I posted how we weren't sure if Andy knew that the jersey for Reggie Wayne was from April, because we didn't know if she gave him a card or anything, and she does. There's a very specific and real cut to the card that says, "Thanks for helping me, April." So that's a thing.
Gotcha.
So that's that. And then Gillian or Jillian, I asked her that I don't know her, how do you pronounce her name? And I know I could have looked it up, and I did look it up, but they pronounce it different ways. How do you think you pronounce Gillian? Is it Gillian or Jillian?
I think it's
I would
Jillian
say
spelled weird.
Gillian. Gillian? I don't think I've ever heard that.
Okay, well, you
Except
never
for
know.
Gilligan.
Yeah, Gilligan
Gillian.
is what I think of.
Okay,
Like Gillian Welch. Isn't that's Gillian, right?
I think so. Well, anyways, so she had a family emergency, which is why she could not, be on the show or send me some voice memos. But I wanted to let you guys know, first of all, hope everything's okay with her. But she does remember that everyone was lovely. I'm reading off of her email that she sent me. She was a big fan of she says, "I'm a big fan of everyone I worked with. Love Amy, Nick. And although I don't know her well, Aubrey was so funny. And the other thing, they named my character Alexa Softcastle. Friendly reminder, she was the reporter that tries to get on the scandal at the pit. Well, it's not a pit anymore, but where the festival Christmas moment was happening. But anyway, so they named my character Alexa Softcastle as an homage to one of their directors, Alex Hardcastle. So it's Hardcastle and Softcastle,
that's great.
which was pretty funny. And then she says that she was supposed to go back the following season, but she had a conflict and she was super bummed about that. But that said, so her husband is Dave, who played with Letters to Cleo in the moment when what is it? Oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of it. The Unity concert.
Yeah.
And
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's her husband?
yeah. So he said that he had a great time on set, and he's friends with some musicians from the late 80s, 90s in Boston, and apparently he was roommates with Mark effing Rivers, who did all the music for Mouse Rat.
Wow.
And she said
wow.
that she could reach out to him, and I was like, I'm gonna pee my pants right now. So, But they were roommates in Boston, which I think is so hilarious and wild because I feel like that is a thing for
Wow.
this podcast.
Yeah.
Love it.
Is Mark Rivers ever in the show? Is he in the band at all?
I think he's the drummer.
He's
in
the
Mouse
drummer.
Rat.
Okay.
The one that like turns into a priest or whatever the
Yeah.
hell. Or is it a rabbi?
It's a
where he says,
rabbi.
I'm going back to rabbinical school.
yeah, that's right. What a great line.
So good.
But yes.
How
so,
fun.
Oh my
Crazy.
God. So I'm going to keep following up with her because I need to talk to Mark Rivers. Like,
Yeah, that'd be a cool
whoa.
episode.
He wrote The Pit. I mean, a lot of it, and Lil Sebastian, Bye Bye Lil Sebastian.
Oh my gosh, classic.
And a lot of Mouse Rat stuff is like Andy improvising and just doing random stuff. So like it doesn't matter, but I mean it does matter. But I'm saying like maybe he didn't do every single little piece of it, but he did
Yeah.
most of it. So
Wow. Very cool.
just saying. So thank you to Jillian, I will say, unless she tells me differently. But anyways, there's that. And then the last thing is, so our last episode, we talked to April Eden, aka chair model / Trish from Beauty Pageant, who is amazing. We love. So
Chair
fun.
model. I like how you just do the crossover.
I really
universe.
did.
yeah.
That was the first question I asked her, actually. I asked her about chair model before I asked her about Trish.
But I think she just, I think so many of us that have watched the both TV shows so many times are the only people that can catch it just by seeing her as Trish. And I think
Yeah.
it was like paying an homage to the people that are just as loyal to The Office as they are to Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't have known that
I
it was
wouldn't
her
have known.
unless I researched it. I would not have recognized her.
Oh, I knew.
Well, especially in the
Oh,
chair
really?
model.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
think
'cause
that
they only
says
show
some
her so
sad things
briefly.
about how often I watch.
I know. It's like literally just like a passive. She's not in the episode.
No,
right?
no,
Really.
no. It's just that one picture.
Crazy.
No, but you
should
can
listen
see
to
her
the episode.
face.
It's
I haven't
amazing.
listened to it yet.
No, it's
Oh,
so
you
great.
can see her face?
You can see her
Yeah,
face
you
in
can see
chair
her
model.
face.
Yeah, there's
We've
just
been,
something
like-
about her
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I was like, I know you. Like, I know you, I know you. When she came on as Trish.
Yeah.
So,
So cool.
What were you going to say, Sean?
I don't
You've
remember.
been...
Sorry.
We've been...
Oh, we've been like, we haven't watched The Office in so long. Like, I don't know.
really?
I feel like we go in like phases. Like, we'll watch it. That's the only thing we'll watch. And then we'll like take a month off. And we just started back at the beginning with all like the extended cuts. So
the
good.
super fan episodes on
Yeah,
TikTok.
because they've added a couple more seasons.
Yeah.
So good.
It's nuts. Well, anyway, so she, I asked her, because I know I said this in the episode, but I don't know that I made it super mega clear. I was wondering how we can have people ask her science questions for her YouTube, because she runs Fangirl Academy, and she said that people can just comment, like, on the YouTube page, or they can send her a message like I did, whatever. But she also told me that technically the Griffith Observatory is a part of the City Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks, which is, I guess they switched it. So technically she's our first parks employee that we talked to.
yay.
That's cool.
She works at Griffith, or she used to, and she still does virtual
Do they
things
ever
for
go
them.
to an observatory in
Parks?
parks?
No.
I feel
Sadly.
like in the first like season, like
No,
no.
I don't know what you're
Thinking of
thinking
something
of.
different.
they should have.
Okay.
They go
I know,
camping.
they really should have.
Yeah, they do go camping.
There you go camping. But anyway, so I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, ask her questions, and all the stuff that she talked about was linked in the last show notes. So the thing where she was talking about how you can help robots decipher images and things like that is also linked, which is hilarious. But anyway, okay, so are we ready? I'm done with my recap.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
In your recap, kind of. Did you choose a favorite planet?
I didn't have time to research it. I was
That's fair.
way too busy
I just
this
wanted
week.
to
I'm
know.
sorry.
No,
But
I just-
I do have it on my list. It'll happen.
Oh, I
you
don't
need to
doubt it.
research the planets.
Yeah,
to
we
find
talked about
out.
our favorite planets last week.
What about just like gut reaction? Just favorite planet?
gut
No.
my
just-
gut reaction was Saturn,
Oh, that's a good one.
but I don't know anything about it. I
know
just
nothing
am
about
thinking
any of the
that.
planets, really.
But April told us that, or maybe it was you that. No, it was April that said Neptune is the one. Like Maddie thought that Neptune would be my favorite for whatever reason, and then April was like, Neptune is the one that like rains diamonds or something like that.
Yeah.
and I was like, that
Really?
sounds royal and queenly. So that sounds
What was
like
hers? As somebody who knows
Jupiter.
about the planets. Oh yeah.
her and Maddie had that in common actually.
No.
So,
It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I love the colors.
and there's lots of that's the space fish one, isn't it?
Is it? Yes.
I think she was talking about that.
Every time like I start thinking about planets and stuff, like I don't know, your mind just like can't even comprehend it.
It's so
like,
much.
just like ridiculous.
It's insane. There's so much we don't know about Earth, so to delve into other planets is nuts.
I feel like we know more about space than we do about our own ocean.
Which is crazy.
Interesting.
I've heard that.
That's where the aliens are, people. The ocean.
Oh my god, speaking of that, I need to watch Demi Lovato's new show where she she goes on these adventures to look at UFOs, and she has friends and scientists and stuff, and they talk to UFOs.
Interesting.
No, the craziest thing is all the UFO stuff that's come out recently. The Pentagon is releasing all this stuff that they actually have proof of UFOs and everything. I mean, that's crazy, and I feel like it's nobody has talked about it.
I know.
It's
I
just
haven't done enough research
it's
about
one
it.
too many crazy things. I feel like the world is just crazy enough, so they're by the way, UFOs are real.
Yeah.
In a world that's crazy enough for UFOs.
Yeah.
Bobby Newport.
Okay, Ben.
All right, enough of that, Jerry. Okay. So season 2, episode 13, The Setup. This was written by Katie DePold. We've talked about her before. She actually wrote Beauty Pageant, which is amazing. So she's coming back. She's also made a few appearances in the show. She plays someone who was waiting in line at the shoe shine stand. You can't really see her unless you're looking for her, but she does. And then she also plays the one that's deathly afraid of animals, and she's being interviewed by Chris Traeger and Leslie to take over the animal control department. And she goes to Dr. Richard Nygaard, and she's like, just please don't give me this job. That's Katie DePold, so she wrote this one. She also wrote Bowling for Votes, Andy and April's Fancy Party, and Meet and Greet. She's also a story editor on the show, so she has a ton of experience with the script world. But she also wrote the movie The Heat with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh my
and
god,
Sandra
I
Bullock,
love that movie.
which I think they're doing The Heat too. They're doing the
Really?
second one. I saw that on IMDb. So
I'm about it.
Got to keep that, on our radar. She's also worked as a writer on Mad TV. I did message her via Insta and Twitter, but I couldn't find any agent contact info. So if she reaches out, it'll be by the grace of God. So thank you, Katie, though.
She did Spy too, which was also Melissa.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Makes a lot of
That was
sense.
good, right? Yeah.
Melissa
one?
McCarthy can do no wrong.
I love
I know.
Melissa
Like-
McCarthy so much.
She's amazing. Which other famous person was in Spy? Or am I thinking of...
Spy, it's she works for the spy, and then he ends up getting killed, so she becomes the spy.
I'm thinking of the one that she does with Jason Bateman, which is Identity
Oh,
Theft.
Identity. That was another amazing movie.
So good. yeah.
All these characters. Melissa. Oh my God. I'm wondering why she wasn't on Parks. I feel like she would have been a good addition.
Yeah, she was in Parks or The Office.
I know.
Has she done sitcom-y stuff?
Yeah, she was in
Well,
that
she
show.
did Mike and Molly.
Yeah, that one.
Mike and Molly, yeah.
That's sitcom-y.
Maybe it was at the
That's
same
really
time and she
sitcom.
just had too much
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
too famous.
She could have been... No, never mind. Because she was in Gilmore Girls, obviously, but I
Yeah.
don't think that was at the same time.
That was before, yeah.
Yeah.
That was before she
forget that.
was Melissa McCarthy, Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Was that before Bridesmaids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy. So that's Katie DePold. Anything else left to say on her? Okay. And then it was directed by Troy Miller, as we know, our Jack Frost guy. Comedy directing, Ron and Tammy. Tom's Divorce, as we know, again. But yeah, I messaged him. I didn't message him again because I was like, but I should have. I should have just been annoying, but it's fine. I'll message him for the next one. So it's all good. But anyway, so that's Troy. And now I'm ready for a summary.
All right. This actually, I just had, when I was doing my research, I found out that this episode had 4.59 million viewers
Well,
as it was airing.
that seems like a lot.
So that's
Is that a lot in comparison to the other ones, or?
It was a
don't
slight
know.
increase from the one before. It slowly gets better and better and better. It dips every now and again, but then it comes back up.
But I feel like the other thing we have to take into account as well that's kind of different than when The Office started in 2003 is TiVo was a thing, or DVR.
Oh,
right?
crazy.
So not all your views are happening at the time that it's airing.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, because 4.5 million doesn't seem like a lot to me
Yeah.
with the amount of people we have in this country.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, well, that's 4.5 people who were watching it live.
Yeah.
And maybe there are a bunch of people who recorded it.
Yeah. Gosh, my dad still uses DVR. And I'm like,
Really?
he'll call
My
me
mom
and
does
he's like,
too.
I just DVR'd this movie. You would love it. And I'm like, Dad, yeah. And then it's,
My mom will DVR stuff that isn't on streaming. So she watches live with Ryan and Kelly.
the
talk
yeah.
shows
morning
and shit like that.
Yeah.
My mom DVRs Cubs games.
Oh, that's fun.
So she doesn't have to watch the pitcher make a decision for 5 minutes.
Oh, so
and then
she can just
also
fast forward it.
That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one
What
of
an
those
invention.
things that we don't do.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one
Okay.
has cable anymore.
I know. Well, who can pay
Yeah.
for that?
Weird.
We just pay
On
$40
top of
a
everything
month for like 8 different streaming services, or you borrow from
You split
800,000
it
other people.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
do what you got to do.
All right, here's my summary, you guys. When Leslie runs into a legal issue with the pit, Anne brings in an old friend, Justin, to help her out. Justin piques Leslie's interest and helps her realize she is ready to date again, which leads to Anne setting Leslie up with a MRI tech from her hospital. This makes Mark suspicious of Anne's true motives with Justin. In the meantime, Ron enlists the help of Tom to help him find an assistant.
Yay! So
I forgot
much
that that's
shit.
the whole reason Justin's there. I
Yeah.
missed that part.
Yeah.
That there's a legal
He's a
issue.
lawyer.
Oh my gosh.
This cold open,
Yeah, and we
like
just
we talked
jump-
about, was insane. Like you said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jump right in.
Fake snow on the
Yeah.
cold open. Wanted everyone to
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah.
It is on the Pawnee or Pasadena City Hall.
We were just talking
Mm-hmm.
about that. We were watching The Office last night, and there was a snow scene. And I remember on maybe it was Office Ladies, they were talking about how they use soap for
Oh
snow.
yeah, I could
And
see
do you
that.
remember the scene? Not to go back to The Office, but where Michael he leaves the top down and the
He's like
snow.
scooping
car.
it off.
And we were like, "What do you think that is? That can't be all soap.
Right.
Maybe it's like."
Yeah, I feel like they have snow machines that I don't know exactly
I feel
what
like
it is.
the
Like
soap is
styrofoam
like when it's
kind
like
of.
falling to make it look like all.
Definitely. Yeah, it's crazy, all the special effects stuff that they've got. Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. But so you said this in the summary, but Norquist Companies or Norquist Construction or something like this is suing because they wanted the lot first. And Anne suggests her friend Justin, who is a lawyer, to help out, which is wild because number one, this is the first talk of Justin, and Mark is super passive aggressive about like, who's this guy kind of thing.
Well, she says he's the greatest guy ever
Yeah,
in front of her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
something you don't do.
Chill.
Clearly,
Yeah.
something's going on. So weird.
Does he live in Pawnee?
I don't think so. Not in
Oh,
Pawnee.
yeah, 'cause-
I think that he moved to. They don't talk about it, but I
He's
would
in
assume
he's in
Oh, he's
He
in
lives in
Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, because he
Oh.
comes and visits. Yeah.
Okay,
he comes and
That's
goes.
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know that part.
The thing about this Mark Ann thing, I think, is she's not super vocal. I haven't seen it where she's super vocal with him about how she feels about him.
Well, no,
So
because
for her to be open about this guy's awesome, Mark's like, where's my
Yeah.
appreciation? Like, you don't talk to me like this, you know?
well, and she's just so unsure about Mark. Like even later in the episode when she's talking to Andy about something, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm dating Mark." Like,
right.
it's like not a super priority.
I know. Well, and
Yeah.
like we said too, to say it in front of the one that you're dating now, who's
Pretty
never
bad.
heard like I'm amazing or that you think that I'm amazing kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
tricky.
Tricky.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
I mean, I have really close guy friends, as you know, like guys I grew up with that are like brothers to me. And if something good happens or if they do something I'm really proud of them, I'm like, oh, I love them so much. They're so awesome. But like, I'll say it in front of Ivan, but like he knows
Well,
that
and Ivan has
who they are to
knows
me.
them
And-
too.
Well, that's the thing. He
Like,
doesn't
they've
know this
never
guy.
met
Too.
Justin before. We don't even know who the
That's
hell he
true.
is. You know, like we've never
I didn't
talked
even
about
think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts. But also, I thought it was funny because his name in real life is also Justin. So I thought that
was
was
it?
Yeah.
interesting. Justin
Justin
Theroux.
Theroux. He was married to Jennifer Aniston for 2
Controversy.
years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in all the comedy things. Him and Will Arnett are besties. He was on Smartless once, and he's been in all like
Oh, cool.
the Jennifer Aniston, Paul Rudd movie kind of things. Like,
that's
yeah,
right.
He was in The Spy Who Dumped Me.
I don't think I've seen that.
And he was in The Joker, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch Joker again because I don't remember him being in that. But there are a lot of extras and stuff in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I was too sad that
The
movie.
first thing I saw or remembered seeing him in was Charlie's Angels. He plays Drew Barrymore's like ex, who's a bad guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just
That's
remember
cool.
that, but yeah.
He was a producer on Tropic Thunder too. That's the
Oh,
last thing
that's
I wanted
right.
to say,
That's right.
'cause that's such a good movie.
Such a
Right.
good
Yes,
movie.
he worked with Ben Stiller on that. Yep. Love that. Tom bought a suit right off the
Anyway.
mannequin.
so
Brooks
good.
Brothers.
Yeah, Brooks Brothers.
I know. I don't think it's the first mention of Brooks Brothers, but or maybe it is. But regardless, that definitely comes up in later episodes.
Yeah.
Because he talks about it with Ben when Ben, like, he's taking Ben to Macy's or
That's
wherever the
right.
hell to like get a new suit. Get a new suit. Oh, it's so funny.
Also, if like you buy it, what's the brag on buying it right off the mannequin? Isn't it like usually like cheaper if you buy something off a mannequin?
Yeah, you
Oh.
get if it's the display. Usually, you get, I think, a discount because it's been sitting on the mannequin.
Yeah.
I think it could be stretched out a little bit.
See,
Yeah.
for me, for the show purposes, I was just like, they're referencing Tom's size.
Oh,
That's what I thought they were.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that could be it
That's
too.
funny.
Like, I'm a tiny
Yeah.
little man that wants
type-
Brooks Brothers things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So funny.
that's so good.
Oh my God.
And this begins the love that Tom has for Justin.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, there's this new initiative to make government officials more accessible to the public. And I was really waiting. I had a double take because I was like so waiting for Mel, aka Red Face Man, to come in because
He's not
it
in
starts this. No, he's not in this one. It starts this string of citizens yelling at him. So
Yeah, it's not the typical cast. It's not like the lady who makes soup from the water. It's like the I like the pottery lady. She's
Yeah.
my favorite in this.
Yes.
little-
No, I have
And it
a
sucks.
guest star breakdown
Okay,
if
do
you
your
want
thing.
it.
Do your
Oh,
thing.
good.
And this sucks. Oh my God. Okay, so one guy thinks that there's too much snow in the parks. His name is Rod Britt, whose
Is that the
character
one where
name
he's
is
like
George.
really close on his face and he's like, "There's snow in the park," and then like the camera is like this close to his face. You see his teeth. and
that
his
was the
spit.
first guy.
That's
Oh,
the bench guy.
That's
I
the
thought.
bench guy.
Yeah. So one wants the bench guy, he wants to sit down more in the parks. And his name is Stephen Bennett. Character name was Stanley.
Which, honestly, that request probably is the most realistic.
Yeah.
Like, if there are no benches and
Yeah.
you're like, listen.
Yeah.
But the way he presents
so
it
mad about
is-
it.
So
I
bad.
know.
Oh my God.
He's so mad.
I did message him, FYI. So we'll see if he messages me back.
That'd be cool.
And then once wants her pottery project to have gone better. She's like, I took a class and this sucks. And then she smashes it. I wanted to know, this one
Yeah.
didn't have commentary, but I would like to know what that was made of. Maybe some sort of plexiglass moment. I don't know.
It could have just literally been a pottery piece because I
It
don't
kind
think
of
it's
smashed
that
like
expensive.
a real one. Yeah, like it was
Yeah,
just like
and yeah, it's easy to break
Okay.
too.
yeah.
That's true.
I accidentally dropped one of mine in art class in 6th grade.
That's a bummer.
I've never done pottery. Like
It's
a
awesome.
little kiln
It's fun.
moment.
Yeah, I never got to do the wheel because I did it before I was 13, and apparently you had to be old enough to do the pottery wheel.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's like dangerous, maybe? Question mark. I'm not really sure.
Machinery, yeah.
Machinery, yeah. But I'm pretty positive. I couldn't quite tell if this was her because her IMDb picture looked a little different than how she looked on the show. But her name, I believe, is Jane Morris, and her character name is Lauren. Messaged her too, because I probably don't even need to say that I messaged these people because you guys know. But she's been in AP Bio, Raising Helen. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
So good. A bunch of other movies. And then one really likes the hiking trails because
Yeah,
that was
the
an
hiking trails are so nice.
that one wasn't a
I
complaint,
like.
which is hilarious.
No.
She just keeps going on and
I
on
think-
and on.
I think it's just symbolizing that Ron doesn't give a fuck what you're talking to him about. He just wants you out of his office.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
even if you're not complaining, just get out of his space.
Yes. Her name was Samantha Albert, and she doesn't actually have a picture on IMDb, but I Googled her, and I found her agency, and I messaged them. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so this starts like this whole thing of like Ron does not want to have any interaction with anyone ever again. And so he needs someone to to get in the middle of this, which again, we'll get to. But that was crazy.
Yeah.
So now I'm at where Anne is bringing in
Goodness.
lunch for everyone.
Yeah, which it's grown because she and Leslie used to sit and have lunch together, but now she's bringing lunch for other people too.
Yes, which is gross.
I'm so s-
what is Tom eating?
Oh
just
yeah,
lettuce.
he has the
No.
salad.
No
Is that what it
taste.
Caesar
ends up
salad with
being?
no croutons, no cheese.
chicken,
no
no cheese,
dressing.
no dressing.
It's literally just lettuce.
Just lettuce and no carbs.
And she says no taste,
right, no taste. And Leslie gets the Leslie Nope.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
which she hates.
Which she hates salami
Oh,
on
it-
pumpernickel with olive juice and extra iceberg.
sounds really bad.
Wish I liked
that
it.
does. It sounds disgusting.
Oh, nasty. I'm just imagining
Would it
it.
be cool to have a sandwich named after you?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to get it, I guess. You could say I'm in the mood for something else.
Yeah.
Although that would be sketch, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like my name would then be associated with that taste, though. Nobody's going to want that sandwich.
Yeah, maybe in the parks department. But honestly, I wonder how many people go to the cafeteria, you know? Ron goes to get the hamburgers, as we learn in later episodes. But for now, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
She still has this picture of Dave in the background. That's sad. And she stole the picture. I can totally see myself doing it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask what... has it been there for a couple episodes and I just didn't realize it?
No,
or did they put it there for this scene?
I think they put it there for this scene. I think that she wanted it after he left, and then she asked them for it, and they were like, no. And so she was like, I'm taking it.
Yeah. Stole it from the police.
Well, and
department.
I think the reason she still has it, right? It's I do see a point of it being sad, but like they also didn't leave on bad terms.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's like the first successful relationship she's had, it sounds like, when we go through the practice date.
Yeah.
When she goes through all the shitty dates she's had, like, here's one that, like, she actually dated this guy and liked him. It's like a nice little reminder.
She wants to remember him, I think. And she liked him, and he liked her. It just the timing wasn't right, you know?
Yeah.
So, but now this leads us to saying that Anne wants to set her up with someone. And then she has this whole like Justin moment too. And like, that's a weird little situation where Anne can't give any like concrete explanations as to why she doesn't want to set Leslie up. But she's just like,
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly frustrated with Anne in this
Justin
episode.
thoroughly. Oh my God. That was fucking dope.
Dope.
Sean hated it. It's fine.
No, I liked it. I really did like it.
Thank you. Anyway, sorry, Maddie. Go
So
ahead.
good. No, it's all good. That's all I was gonna say is like being the Anne in this relationship, I'm thoroughly frustrated with.
Yeah,
Anne. Justin
she's not a
thoroughly
great friend in this
frustrated.
Right.
episode.
No, she doesn't know what I don't know. Like, I think it's what you're saying, Sean, right? Like, there's something in her that knows she doesn't want to be with Mark.
Yeah.
Right. But he's safer than being with Andy.
Yeah.
And she's never
Right.
dated Justin, right?
Right,
Like they
right.
just went to college together.
Yeah. She has him on hold,
Yeah.
as Donna says.
Has him on hold.
Right.
I've never had
is-
anyone. Have I ever had anyone on
No,
hold?
I don't think I have.
Never thought about that.
It's a pretty shitty. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a great thing to
it's
do.
a shitty thing to do when you're dating somebody else.
Yeah, when you're dating someone
Yeah.
else in particular.
Yeah.
That's true. But also, like, I don't know. Why didn't Anne before this ask him out or something? But maybe because she was with Andy as well. And I don't
just
know.
still can't get over the fact that she dated Andy. It's just like the more we get to know Andy, it's like you have this guy waiting somewhere.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't like her. I mean,
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Who wouldn't like Anne, though?
I know.
Whatever, it's fine. We're not going to get
I don't know.
to analysis.
I wonder if she sees him as endgame.
Oh,
almost.
so she's
Right.
just yeah.
And she's like, I just ended things with Andy. I don't think I'm ready for endgame.
Interesting.
And maybe that's why she hasn't dated him yet. But like, yeah, I think you're completely right. It's so messed up that she does this. And then also that she doesn't, I'll get to all the things that really frustrate me with her as a friend in this episode. But like, you can't not set your friend up with them if you think they're a good person.
right.
And they would be a
Or
good fit.
fucking tell your friend. And just be
Right.
like, yo,
Say-
I actually kind of
yeah,
have like
be
some
upfront.
feelings, or I had some feelings, and I'm not really sure if I can figure that shit out right now. So I'm sorry, you know? And then, I mean, it would still be kind of shitty, but at least like the friend would be like, oh, okay. Instead of thinking like, oh, I'm not right for this person and I'm terrible. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and look at how Leslie handles it, right? She's like, well, you should, Donna's like, you should go out with him. But yeah, but like Anne's being weird about it. Like she wasn't going to cross that line without
Right.
talking to Anne about it.
Right.
So Leslie's showing her that friendship and that loyalty,
Yeah.
and Anne's not meeting her there. You know?
Right. Right. Well, anyway, so April comes in. She's late. She comes in at like 10:40 or whatever the hell, and she does not give a shit about this job, as we know. And Jerry says that there's no paper in the printer. And can I just say, I had a bit of a memory moment when I used to put paper in every printer at my old job because there was like, oh God, like 12 printers, like the big ones
Takes
and then
some
ones
time.
next
The
to
industrial ones.
yeah, the big ones and then the ones next to everybody's computers. And that was like my task as a receptionist, the first thing I did in the morning time. But like there was like 800,000 tasks. And so people would like tell me to put paper in there or like, Holly, there's no paper in the, and I'm like, you can't put
That's the
paper in
thing
a
that
printer
gets
that's
me. It's
literally
like,
right next to you.
if you need
your
it that
printer
bad.
is, you don't even have to walk anywhere. And I'm like, do you want me to answer your phones about this like $1 million purchase, or do you want me to put paper in there
That's
that
why
you
people
could do?
suck.
I hate them. But anyway, so that was a moment. But And then Ron comes in. Oh, go ahead, Maddie.
I was going to ask, do we know what her internship is through? Like, is she in college and she's doing this internship, or
I think it's high school.
she's
Right?
not in
High
high school
school?
because she turns 21 at the end of this season or something.
Oh, I thought she started as a high schooler. Okay, so maybe it's a summertime.
could have.
Maybe it's a summertime thing.
Well,
And she's
'cause
trying to
I
get
thought
she
college
was in
credit.
college, but
later she says, I can't wait to be done with this internship. So
Right.
it has an ending date.
Right.
So it made me think it was like a 6-month thing or
Yeah.
whatever.
We
Yeah.
need to know
don't know.
that. That's a good question.
she's been there for quite some time. If you think this is what, the second season or
That's
third season?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I want
So
to
it's more
say
than
that
6 months.
right, more than 6 months, because just because it's 2 seasons doesn't mean it's 2 years, because I don't think we had
No,
a
but-
Christmas in the last one. But regardless, it has been a long time.
Yeah.
So it must have been probably at least a year.
Yeah.
Maybe, or like, so that wouldn't be a summer thing. So maybe she's like,
Maybe we're thinking too hard about it.
yeah, maybe so. But that is a good
But
question.
that's a good question.
Yeah,
But
so
how old is she though?
she's probably
She's
20
20.
now. Because she turns
20.
21 this season.
Yeah, so she'd be in college.
Yeah, if she's in
like a
college.
junior.
Yeah, because when Andy
Mike
is
Schur,
doing his
come
math- yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When he's doing the math, because when they're starting to date.
Right. Okay,
Anyhow,
that's intriguing.
Well, and it turns him off that she can't go into the bar with him.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
She has a fake ID and
Right.
he's like, oh, no, never mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how we know she's not in high school, but like,
Right. So she's somewhere
Yeah.
around there. So Ron is now wanting this assistant, and I think I don't know. This is either my first or my second favorite line. I can't. I don't know. I can't decide yet.
we might have the same one.
You can say it.
No, you do it. You do it.
Okay. Well, he comes out and he says that he hasn't hired an assistant, even though he's had the money to, because he's wanted to save the taxpayer money. But now he says, I need the taxpayer money to save me from the taxpayer.
I also love that part because he says like, I've saved the taxpayers like 150 grand, but like it clearly does not work that way. Like the tax,
Right.
Like you don't get deducted on your taxes
Yeah.
because one guy saved.
Probably
Like, it's
a lot
not-
less.
He's not
like
using
he's
his
such a
system.
man of principle, but like
Right.
it's totally
Yeah.
Something.
But it's like, no.
that money
they still
got spent
took our
somewhere
money.
else.
a
Yeah,
little
Yeah.
bit more of a puzzle piece than that. Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
That's a good line though.
It's a great line.
It is so
taxpayers.
good. That
Yeah.
was the one I had, Holly.
Awesome. I love this ad too. It really looks like a serial killer moment.
Oh my God.
Assistant to a man, low pay.
I love it. It's my original. I only have one. It's
He doesn't know
He
how to
obviously
print
did it in
more.
his typewriter.
yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
But he doesn't have a typewriter yet.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't have that yet. But he wants one.
It does look
didn't
like
save it.
typewriter font though.
Yeah, he probably didn't save it, or maybe he has one at home. But that's
He
a good
must have
question.
one.
Or maybe he just doesn't have the energy to print another one out.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. He just was like, okay, this is it. This is my thing. And he wants April to post it at. Oh, wait. He says that. He wants April to post it at her college.
At our college, you're right.
There we go. Look
Nice
at that.
catch. Okay, okay.
Good job, Katie, to
just had
poll.
to
So
talk
how many
through
hours
it.
is she there? I'm getting way too nervous. Never mind.
Yeah, because she's like there
Let it
during the
lie.
day every day.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be one of those internships though, where you don't go to school. You just do that for
Yeah.
college credit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For your classes. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
So,
Can you do that?
yep, that's a thing.
I would have done that instead of gone to class.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Where you can get like a full time job, but you're not getting paid. You're just getting college credit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it could have been part time too. Who's to say? Okay, we need to move on from that.
Anyhow,
Yes. Sorry. I let it
No,
drop.
you're so good. We should figure that out. But the next thing is that Justin has this talking head where he talks about the fire in a can thing. If
gosh.
you want to start a fire, but you have to do it fast. And it's literally a blowtorch, and it was used to heat baby bottles.
oh,
Baby
that's
bottles.
great. It's literally a blowtorch.
Oh my, such a Pawnee thing. That is so funny. And now
Yeah.
we're at where Tom is
That's
saying,
kind
like,
of
I
a
like
real
your suit.
thing, though. Like,
What?
have you ever gone like sometimes when I went hiking in Yosemite, you have to carry
Sure.
bear spray, which is literally fire in a can. I mean, it's a blowtorch. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
aluminum can.
that is a thing.
It's pretty dumb.
But for a bear, okay. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's
just
not
like
that
to
much
carry.
more acceptable, but
yeah,
like.
but
to
no, well,
heat
definitely
baby
not though. yeah, yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah, so that's where it starts. Tom being in love with Justin, saying like, "I like your suit." Yeah. So, and also like Justin is saying to Leslie, like, you have a cool job, and he wants to know everything about this park.
Definitely
I feel like
flirting.
there's some flirt moments
Yeah.
happening. I don't feel like that's
Yeah.
just being like a good lawyer.
No.
No, he's putting more effort in. Lawyers, I mean, are busy people. Like, I feel like most of the time they don't have time to be chilling and having small talk. You know? So I don't know. I looked up exactly because my dad is a lawyer. So I looked up specifically what kind of law this is, because I have learned by using the phrase, my dad's a lawyer, I'll ask him. And I often get there and he's like, yeah, that's not my specialty. And so people forget that just because you went to law school and you're a lawyer doesn't mean you know all the things, because especially if you've been in the field for this many years, you've forgotten the one class in college.
Just like doctors or dentists or orthodontists or so many different departments and lanes you can go down.
So they can advise you. Like my dad can always advise me, but he would never represent me. Like when we were talking about malpractice, right? He would never be the person representing me in that situation. Anyway, I looked up civil litigation, which literally means two or more parties become involved in... Wow, I can't read my own writing.
You got to get on that Google Doc, girl.
Yeah. Okay, it's when two or more parties become involved in a legal disagreement seeking money or action that is without criminal accusation.
What?
So, which means
so they're not
so they're
charging
not
them
a
for a
criminal,
crime, but
right.
the guy's doing.
They're saying, look, it's like that person who tried to sue McDonald's for their hand burning, right? Like McDonald's didn't do anything illegal, but they were like, your coffee gave me a second-degree burn or whatever on my hand, so I'm suing you, right? So that's a civil litigation.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't a crime to get to the lot first, essentially.
No.
They're just,
They're just in disagreement. Yeah, and that's the same thing with the flamethrower thing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Blowtorch.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Flamethrower.
I don't know. I lost it.
Blowtorch. Got it. Okay.
I
Love
want to
it.
channel Leslie so hard because he's like, wow, Leslie, you're so organized. And she's like, yeah, I am. And I want to be able, when people are like, tell me things like that, I want to be able to be like, I am. Thank you. Not like get all
It's
like
just
shy, you know?
Yeah. See, my default is being like, I know it's so crazy. Like I'm agreeing, but I'm also like, sorry.
Do I really? Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Confidence.
Yes, it's just practice. Let's do that.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm at where April and Andy are talking. Are you guys there?
I also just have to say before we move there that Leslie, she starts the tour of the map that Justin's asking about.
Yeah.
I think it
represent trees.
I think it's a real testament of the people she talks to day in and day out that she has to say that.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, why would you say that to Justin? And then you're like, oh, look at the people you work with. You probably do have to, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I totally
just thought
understand
was funny.
that. And that's also her being thorough, like we talked about again. So, yeah.
So many Justin Thoreau jokes in here.
I know. Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk? So Andy and April are in the shoe shine stand.
Yes, and she's saying that this is the part where she's like, I can't wait for this internship to be over.
Yeah.
And people got mad at her because she was late because she was watching Swim Fan. Do you guys remember Swim
No,
Fan?
What
I
is
don't.
Swim Fan?
Oh my God.
She
I'm
said
going
that. I
to
was
link
like-
that trailer in the show notes.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was, did you guys see Bring It On?
Yeah.
It was the lead guy from that, the one that
The
Kirsten
original
Dunst's
one?
character.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this other gal who is in Twilight Parenthood, she's in a bunch of stuff. And she's basically, so it's called Swim Fan because this guy is like a swimmer either in high school or college. I can't remember what it was. But it's like this thriller, scary movie where she like stalks him and like wants to like kill him,
good?
but like be with him kind of thing. It's actually really good. But
Okay.
then again, I haven't watched it in a million years.
We'll watch it.
But we will. It's one of those things too where it was, you know, those shows where, I don't know if you guys did this, maybe I'm crazy, but like after school or on the weekends when you did have cable at your parents' house, you would scroll through like TNT or TBS or USA Network or whatever the fuck, and they'd be playing the same movie like over and over again.
A
Swim
weekend
Fan.
full of.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Swim Fan was one of those that was on like all the time.
Maybe I did see. Man,
I'm sure you have, but I will post
that's
that trailer.
funny that she was watching that.
Yeah, and I like her excuse though because that's how I used to do this in college watching Lost, where I would be like, I was late because it was on. You know what I mean? She has a little bit more of an excuse because she can't really pause it, at least at that time, I feel, but I could definitely pause
You
it.
could
But
definitely pause it.
anyways, so she's so angsty, which is really fun to watch her like progression.
Yeah.
Like even in this episode, you know?
Yeah.
This is a big episode for the two of them.
Oh my God, it really is.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
kind of like when they start.
Yeah, having a little moment. Well, I think, last week was the first start, the Christmas scandal, where she's like giving him a present.
Yeah,
and then it
that's right.
slowly, incrementally gets to where they're actually hanging out together. Because,
Yeah.
like, she was just kind of randomly going up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then she suggests that Andy sell his band CDs. And then Andy starts talking about his songwriting process. And
Sitting here thinking about what I'm writing about.
singing about, talking about, writing about what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
man.
And then
I
they
have to
have that face that April makes, so where she like looks at the camera, which is a very common face that she will make for
Yeah.
him.
Yes. I have to note that behind Andy at the shoe shine stand, I noticed that there are little containers of gum. There's 3 different colors. It looks kind of like juicy fruit, and then like wintergreen or whatever.
Okay.
And then there are also what I believe are mouse traps.
Oh,
So I don't know, but go back because I was like, I paused it and I was
Yeah.
like, those are mouse traps, I think.
I've thought about that too, because
Interesting.
last time I was looking at the shoe shine stand for Christmas decorations, and I thought I saw chapstick and shoelaces, which would make sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I wonder if they've added. It probably
Buy
expands.
anything there. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if they change it almost by episode. Like the writer gets to come in and decide what's there or
Maybe.
something.
They put some
But
random
later
thing.
on, here, just because we're on it,
Yeah.
he does end up putting the CDs up, obviously, because she tells him to. And then there's also mouthwash, deodorant, and candy.
Right. I saw that. I did see that.
Huh.
Like that's more so behind the actual chair of where you sit to get your shoes shined, and then the chapstick and all the other stuff is like on the wall.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, there's like a rack of magazines and newspapers and shit like that. So yeah, interesting. Chronicles of the shoe shine stand.
We should go get our shoes shined sometime.
You want to go?
I've
to
never
the
had 'em.
airport?
Yeah, that's like the only place.
We'll have to Google it.
Yeah. I've never had my shoes shined.
Maybe they have it at like shoe places, like shoe stores.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyhow.
cute.
Malls? Do malls do that?
Oh, there might be like a kiosk in the mall.
Yeah.
We'll have to look.
Yeah, that would be the only other place I can think of besides the airport that I might have seen one.
Yeah, still haven't heard from any fans about that. So come on.
Come on, people.
But now I'm at where April is talking to Justin, or not April, sorry, Anne comes in and sees Justin, and he calls her kiddo. I don't like that. Hey,
I think
kiddo.
that's him friend zoning her hard.
I do too.
Oh, yeah, that is.
I do too. That's why I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But Anne's like, hey.
Yeah.
She
And, like,
also
So he must
introduces Mark as the city planner.
I know. I took
I am
hard note
so
of
mad
that.
about it.
You saw Mark's face when that happened,
Yes.
right? He was like waiting for her to be like, and
my boyfriend."
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was so messed
God.
up to me.
Yes. That's crazy. And then also it's funny because like funny, I don't know. But Justin was telling this like super interesting story about being in like Bahrain or whatever the hell country he was talking about to Leslie. And then Anne comes in and like interrupts this story that they could have hit it off on. And she's like, hey. And then he says, hey, kiddo, kind of thing. And then she like straight up asks him to go to dinner or lunch or whatever. And I know that's a friend thing, I suppose. But, you know.
But like, how good of friends do you actually think they are? I don't know.
It seems like they talk frequently.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think, Maddie?
But then Mark has no idea about who he is.
Well, I don't think that Anne talks about him too.
Yeah.
Mark.
Which in itself should be a red flag.
That's weird.
to Mark.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Right? Because if they're talking regularly, right?
Yeah.
Like your boyfriend should know who that is.
Yeah.
And then it should
Yeah.
be like,
Or it should come up in like casual conversation or if you're on the phone or something, you know.
yeah. And it should be like, hey, I'm going to go out to dinner with Justin if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
You know? Or you shouldn't feel weird about inviting your boyfriend to go with you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too.
Yeah.
That's true too.
So
They're basically going on a
I always
date.
struggle with the if that's okay with you thing because I'm like, I don't care if it's okay with you. But I get it at the same time.
But I think like when you're in a relationship, right?
Yeah,
no, I get
you
it.
gotta
You want to be
respect the other
considerate.
person. But when
Right.
it's a healthy relationship,
That's what I was
it
gonna
doesn't
say.
matter.
It doesn't matter. Exactly.
Like, you know what I
No,
mean? Like you're saying.
100%.
Yes.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Tom says bye. Like he has like this thing off camera, I think, and maybe it's on camera, but he's like,
He
"Bye,
pokes his head out.
Justin!"
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Oh my God. And then
Yeah.
now we're at where Anne is like talking about what is an ideal match for Leslie. And she says, brains of George Clooney, body of Joe Biden.
I literally were watching it with me and Sierra, and I was like, ugh. Like now, I don't know. Like now that Joe Biden's like a million years old, I was just like, oh, just like, why do you want the body of a 90-year-old man or whatever?
He was still pretty old when this came out. Let's
He was
be honest.
still
It was only
pretty
10
old.
years ago.
I mean, I guess he was more like, well, he was
He was
doing
younger.
a bit better back then too. But yeah,
I also think Leslie's attracted to smarts though as well, but
Yeah.
I do think it's more so about money.
for the body.
Or money. Why did I say money? About body.
The body.
I was projecting. I want the money. Sorry. Anyway.
Anyhow,
But then this is where Leslie suggests getting set up with Justin. And then Anne is really weird about it. And again, Anne can't really give any reasons as to like why she doesn't think it. She just keeps like sputtering over her words. And she's like, no, I'm going to find you someone really great. Just not Justin.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
she a hoe.
And then Leslie doesn't want to be set up with twins because she's been tricked
I've
before.
been tricked before.
She's so serious about
And
it.
Anne is like not even phased by
She
it
doesn't
anymore.
even face. That's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
She's like,
know.
okay.
The amount of ridiculous things Leslie finds herself in. That's
I
just another one
know.
of them.
Well,
Yeah.
especially in practice day when she goes over all of her
Oh, my
awful
gosh.
times that she's had on dates, like where she accidentally thought it was Tic Tacs and then she ended up taking like painkillers and had to stab herself to stay awake. And then she woke up with like her molar
Somebody-
being taken
yeah.
out. We went out a few times after that, but then it got weird.
So good.
Oh my God. So they're scooping snow on the patio. Did you see that they're shoveling? This was like a shot right
Yeah.
before Tom comes into Ron's office, which by the way, he says Ron Solo, which I love.
Yes.
That. Thought that
That's
was
good.
so cool.
Very good.
I have
And
to
Ron's
say,
tearing the phone out of the wall. Oh my God.
Ron is so desperate if he's asking for Tom's help.
Yeah.
Because
I
in
know,
no way,
of all
shape,
the
or form
people.
is Tom what Ron is looking for in this position.
Yeah. Agreed. Totally. Yeah. Because they had to have different work ethics, work styles, everything. But
Well, I
Tom
guess
also
so
doesn't
that
care,
Tom
so-
is really the only person he could go to, though. Like, because Leslie is like too busy. Jerry is useless.
Yeah.
Donna is useless.
Yeah,
Like
at this point.
At this point, like
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, I don't know. I just feel like Ron and Tom do have that kind of working relationship where
Yeah.
Ron doesn't really have that relationship with Donna or
No.
anyone else.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean?
At least not now.
Is Donna in this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
'Cause
the one
she's
that
the
at
one-
the end, she says like, oh, maybe she's putting him on hold.
Oh yeah,
you
you're
know?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't have a big role. And she and Jerry are still labeled
Guest
as
stars.
guest stars right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jerry.
So they're not right. Not yet. Not yet. Also, this is a little random, but I do love that noise effect or sound effect that of when Ron's smashing his cell phone. It's like, burr, 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 burr.
Oh yeah.
That was so cool. I don't know why.
I wonder if at any point in time, like our phone did that. Like, I mean,
I wonder. I'm not gonna try it,
yeah.
but we need a flip phone to really try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have this line written down because I love it. Like when he's smashing the phone and Tom is like, what if that was one of your friends? And he's like, my friends know I have a strict no call policy.
Also, who are Ron's friends?
Oh my god. I
Well, he has that
imagine
one
he-
guy who we sometimes
Who he
still
never
don't talk
talks
anymore.
to. Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes we still never
Best
talk.
friend I ever had.
Best friend, yeah.
What's that guy's story?
That was
I
and his
know.
barber is his best friend, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
When Salvatore
yep.
dies, he has a
It's so
moment.
sad.
The meat
Anne comes
cut-
in with blood in her hand because in the little vial. She has to go back to the
I'm starting
hospital.
to think that Anne's not a very good nurse because one, she's
know.
always at the parks department. Like maybe the
I think
hospital
she's
is
just
close,
multitasking.
and two, she's bringing somebody's blood out of the hospital. I just,
Yeah.
I think this week her brain is half on the fact that
Frazzled.
Justin's here.
yeah,
Yeah.
And she's not able to she's like, well, I'm with Mark, so it's not right for me to have feelings about Justin, and I'm not letting her let my best friend date her and date him and all this stuff. Like, and I think she's probably just, her brain is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because she later hands Leslie a prescription instead of the phone number and the
Right,
address
exactly.
for Justin.
And
So-
she says that too. She's like, I'm so out of sorts.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I have weeks like that. Like, I'm sure, like, Holly, you and I have talked, or like, I'll be doing a voice memo back to you and I'll stop in the middle of my sentence. I'll be like, I don't even remember what I was talking about right now.
Yeah. So she's having a moment.
Yeah.
Especially with
is.
Justin around. But this is where she introduces our MRI technician, Chris, that she wants to set April. God, I get the names wrong today. Leslie up with. And I love Leslie's thing of like, what should I wear? Should I wear a big hat? Something red. I think about that sometimes too. Like, how should I, if I've never met someone, like, how should I dress so that they can tell that it's me?
She ends up wearing a red shirt.
Oh, yeah. Good notice.
Oh, it is something red.
I'll just tell them what you look like.
So good.
Oh, I love it. Well, now I'm at the restaurant. Are you guys there yet?
Yes, enter Will Arnett.
Yay!
Are they're married at the time?
Yes. Yes. So, also, side note, the restaurant is called Car Horn, I think.
Looks like a nice restaurant.
It does look like a very nice restaurant.
Like
I
a
couldn't
steakhouse?
find. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, again, the fake snow was outside of the restaurant. But yes, Will Arnett. So I did message his agent, whatever. It's not even a big deal. But
Come on, Will.
I really hope that he at least
You do podcasts.
talks about it on Smart Liz. That would be, I don't even need to talk to him as long as he talks about it. I don't care. I wish he was on Cameo. I'd get him. But he doesn't need to. Got all that Reese's peanut butter voiceover money.
Yeah, he's got the Reese's money.
But anyways, yes, so they were married at this point. Then they had their 2 kids at this point as well. They got married in 2003, broke up in 2012, and officially divorced in 2014. So they had 9 years. But and either way, I mean, it seems amicable from like when they talk about it. I don't know if it was at the time. Doesn't matter. Not important.
That's
but
what I got from the whole thing when they announced it was more like, we just aren't the same people we were, but we're still going to be friends because we want our kids to grow up with, parents that get along and stuff like that. So it seemed fine, but
yeah, and she talks about him in her book, and it sounds like they were really in love at one point, and they still make it work for the kids, and they're still friendly. So
Not
she
in
talks
this
about him
episode.
too. Yeah, not on this episode.
kudos to like parents that actually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Evidently, Mike Schur was the one that, according to the internet, was the one that suggested casting him. It wasn't Amy Poehler, because apparently Mike Schur, well, I mean, I'm sure that it was all like interrelated somehow, but Mike and Will were close friends. And so he was like, and I think the role was written before they cast him in it. But so they were like, he would fit this role. He could do that. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's talking about someone being bad at their job. He's bad at his job.
Oh my God.
The greatest. Yeah. But this is a bad date.
It's a bad date. I love this talking head though at the beginning where she thinks it's going to go well. She's like, well done, Anne. I actually heard that. Ew.
He's so awkward.
He is so awkward.
He's so awkward, and he just like is so cringy. You know what I mean? So he says that he went to Wisconsin for undergrad and graduate, and he's so serious about it. And Leslie's like, "Boo, Indiana Hoosiers," and he's like, "No,
Badgers or whatever."
Yeah, and it's like really
Strike one.
serious. You strike one, yes. Because
what would you do in that situation? Would you just like when you're in like one of those like, oh shit, like this is gonna be terrible, this person's nuts, would you just leave, or would you like at least get an entree? If I'm being honest, you would go get the MRI.
Honestly, maybe I would.
I mean,
don't
hey,
know.
free MRI. I mean,
it's not free no mo.
Yeah,
she's not yo ho no mo.
Not yo ho no mo.
We'll get there when we get there. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably at this point in the date do what she did, where she's just like, okay, let's just move on, whatever. Yeah. And then that was strike one technically, because he thinks that she's in charge of amusement parks, and really she's in charge of parks and benches and trees and things like that. Strike two under his breath. And then she tries to break the ice by like saying, "Isn't it so crazy how these things are just always so awkward?" He's like, "Why would you say that?" And then he starts to show his vulnerability. He's just up and down. He's a little crazy where he's like, "Oh, did I just make it awkward? Like, let's just start over," kind of thing. And I'm like,
is that when he does the candle?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it looks so much easier than on TV.
When he puts his fingers in the ice.
Oh my God. And then she slides it back towards him so that she can get rid of it. And then he's like, I'm not thirsty.
I'm not thirsty.
Oh my God. I feel like I told you guys that story when I went on a date in college and like the guy drank my water.
Yeah, I do remember that. That's bad.
So weird.
On a first date.
And then he put it down as if we were sharing it. And I was like, I don't know where you've been.
And he didn't think that it was his. Like, he knew it was yours.
I mean, he didn't order water.
Oh.
ordered
There wasn't
water.
two waters
There
on the table.
wasn't two waters.
bad.
It was
Really
lime
bad.
water.
It's really bad.
Oh
He
my
didn't even
God.
ask, right? He just went in.
No, he just drank it. And I was like doing that thing where I was like staring daggers at the water. Oh my God. But he didn't.
Where was that?
It was at the Yard House.
The Yard House.
I like
Good
the
place.
house.
I love the Yard House. So good. Oh my God. Okay, well, this is when we cut to. Do you have anything to say before that? Because we cut to Anne and Mark about to watch Marley and Me.
I'm wondering how hard it would be to act in a scene like that with your significant other.
I know, that's fascinating. I think since they both have such improv backgrounds that they're probably so used to just being in character with each other, you know?
Yeah.
And the more you know each other and the more you've like worked with each other, especially in improv, like you can fuck with each other more and like really get into your character. It's
That's
like
kind of
easier.
cool how like Megan and Ron or them, and then
Oh,
even like on The Office, like Michael and
Oh yeah,
Carol. Like
Yeah,
I
they
don't know,
play
they
off
tend
that a
to
little
do that
bit.
a lot.
Totally.
Must work when they're both great actors. I guess it just works.
Yeah. And I'm sure they've worked with each other before.
Amy and Will, weren't they together in Blades of Glory? Or am I wrong?
I think so. No, I think you're right.
I thought
Yeah,
they were
I
a
think-
brother-sister team and they made out all the time. It was this
Yeah.
awkward. Okay.
They're brother sister
All right.
team in
so they
in,
had
like the
done
movie.
something before.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's
All right.
Will Arnett. Oh,
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. I just
So now Anne's talking to Justin on the phone, and they sort of kind of start to get into it over him. And she says that weird line of like, he saved my life. He was like the coolest guy in my high school. He saved your life? Well, he's just like this really amazing person. What?
that's like high school drama, like, right? Like I hated
Yeah.
all the kids in my high school, but Justin saved me.
Yeah, so weird. Also, doesn't sound like they know the premise of Marley and Me.
Yeah.
No.
Like puppies. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Wait
you're in
till
for
the
a
end.
surprise.
Hate to break this to you, but
I know. And now I'm at where Tom is interviewing people for the assistant job.
he's such a skis ball. He's like,
Such
no,
a
you're
skis-
actually going to be working for me.
So many sleazy
So
Tom
bad.
moments. So many. He tears up this first guy's resume.
Because of the tie thing. Is that
Yes.
the- yeah.
Well, like that was at the beginning where he's like, I don't care if you
Oh,
have
that's right.
education or whatever. Pick the ties.
He's still wearing his wedding ring.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Good catch. Wow.
I don't know why, but he is.
Yeah, he's not over it.
Do
Although
you
I didn't
think-
check to see if he still had it on when he was interviewing the woman. There's only
okay.
one woman interviewed.
Okay.
Because I can see Tom being that skeezy that he would take his wedding ring off when he's.
Yeah.
Does he? This kind of is jumping ahead, but does he meet Jean Ralphio by interviewing people, or he already knows?
He already
him?
I
knows
think he
him.
already knows
He
him.
already knows
He's
him.
already been in an episode,
Oh, he has.
right?
Oh, I
no,
wasn't.
this is
No?
his first one. What other one was he in? I think this is his first
I think
one.
this is his first one.
I haven't seen him in anything else. That's why I haven't messaged him yet.
You know
Heyo.
what? You want to know what's wrong? Is I've been sporadically watching different seasons.
Yeah.
In the middle
Yeah,
of us
now you're all
watching these
confused.
episodes, and I'm messing myself up.
Yeah. No,
It's
this is his
fine.
first one, and I think that they were friends before, but because he didn't find anyone that he liked
Yeah.
when he was interviewing.
Yeah.
But another guest star breakdown. This first guy, I think Brian is the character name, and his name is in real life is Scott Portlock. No pick on IMDb, but his last acting gig was listed as 2011. So I don't know if he's still doing things. Couldn't find his email, so I'm sorry. Couldn't message him. Can't do what I can't have.
Yeah.
You know? So, but that he was good. I liked him. But Tom basically wants this assistant for himself, not for Ron's purposes at all. He wants to assist to the fashion choices and love the plum V-neck. Had high expectations after he saw that, but expectations were dashed.
Tom just wants a different job. He just wants to not.
He wants to be the
mogul.
entrepreneur, the businessman, club owner, mogul. Yep, he wants that.
He'll get there
He'll get there.
and then lose it all.
But now we're back at the date.
Yeah. And she asks, like, do you like being an MRI technician? And the way he says great question isn't like, yeah, that's a good question. You know, like, I don't actually know that's, you know,
He's like, check, you
he's
get a
more
point
like-
for asking that question.
It's like
Yeah.
they're in a lecture and like
Right.
it's like a teacher.
it's more like
great
every other question you've asked me has been bullshit. And this one I
Mm-hmm.
actually want to answer.
I love
know?
his performance though when he's like chewing and talking and
Yes.
wiping his
But it's in
mouth,
bread.
the
I can see what's
potatoes
in
and the
this
bread.
bread.
It's
See
like
what's inside.
spit.
It's more
What's
bread.
inside the bread? It could be cheese.
I'd have to do an MRI on it. Also, he says that the Matrix is 99%
99%
real.
true.
Sidebar. Do you guys like The Matrix?
Love the Matrix.
Did you see they're coming out with another one?
Are they really?
We have talked about this at
We have
nauseam.
talked about this at
And I was
nauseam.
the one that told you.
No, because I watched the trailer.
No, because I watched it like a million years ago. Remember now, like the first ones, like for the first time, and I was like, they're coming out with another one, and then you were like, what would they even make that about?
Well, I just watched the trailer. It looks great.
I'm excited.
Did you watch the trailer?
No, I haven't watched it.
Oh
yet.
my! Okay, after this,
Okay.
it looks good. I think it's going right to HBO Max. I think it's a
Oh.
series.
What?
I don't know about
Not
that.
a movie.
I don't know about that,
Okay,
but it is going to
we'll
HBO
look it up.
Max.
Same cast too, right? Isn't Keanu
yeah.
in it?
They're all in it.
I love
Sexy.
Keanu.
So
Me
good.
too.
What a dude.
My God, John Wick.
I've only seen the first one,
Oh
but
my
I
God.
died when the dog died.
Oh yeah.
Oh, spoiler.
I
Yeah,
literally looked at Connor because he's the one that made me watch it. I was like, I swear to God,
Sad.
Connor, if this dog dies, I'm never watching a movie you tell me to watch again.
It's a
He's
violent
like,
movie.
that's fine.
It's fine. Just watch it.
He's like, I'll tell you when to close your eyes. I'm like,
Yeah, really. I know, because you have an animal thing, which I get. We all have. We do.
But so then she's like, I've never gotten it.
Yeah, he freaks out because she says that she's never had an MRI. And I have to tell you guys, there were so many deleted scenes with just Will Arnett. And I guarantee you that it's 100% all improvised.
Really?
Oh, I
All
bet.
this shit with both of them. And they just picked what was best.
I had a question about that, like how much of it was improv. I bet
I
so
think-
much.
I bet like one line was written like as a basis, and then they were like, just go do a fun run thing. Because there were, I recorded a couple of them that I'll play, but there was this one that I didn't record, and he's like about to throw up almost. He's like about to throw up, and then he's like, it's okay. And then he just starts eating again. And then the waiter comes over with the check, and he says, are you freaking kidding me? You came over without a check? And he has this whole moment. Oh my God. And that is the thing. If you treat a waiter badly,
worst.
goodbye.
They're the worst.
Get out of my
people.
life.
I don't understand how.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'll play this part one for you. And then he does another deleted scene, but this is the first one.
I've actually never had an MRI before.
What are you, a f***ing communist? This is our right as Americans to stick our bodies into a machine and look inside them. Why don't you go move to Iraq if you don't want to get an MRI? Okay? Why don't you go live in a cave with Bin Laden with his kidney machine traipsing through the mountains and rigging a vote? You know, what are you, one of Karzai's henchmen? This is a joke. Haven't had an MRI. Oh, hey, Stone Age? Oh, yeah, hi, it's Leslie. No, I just built a time machine. Do you mind if I come back and hang out with you? What, you built a time machine and you didn't get an MRI? That's crazy, Leslie. Why would you do that? Why would you build a time machine, go back to the Stone Age, when all you had to do was get an MRI?
Fine, I'll get one.
Thank you.
I mean, part of you gotta love like how much he loves his job. I guess
know!
because like, yeah, that is just something.
Oh my God. And then
I love
this
how political he got. Like he just brought it to you're a communist.
and so many details. Oh my
So
God.
that must have been improv.
That had to have been. Okay, this is the part two of it.
You ever see that movie, The Matrix?
Yeah?
It's like 99% real.
No.
It's all a program. All of this is a program.
Ooh, we're in a program?
I don't know. I'd have to do an MRI.
I just think it's great that you found your calling, you know? I've actually never had an MRI.
Are you kidding me? That's the craziest thing I've heard since Obama got elected.
Yeah, very political.
Obviously very
And
right
so
wing.
improvised. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So that's what that was pretty much the whole. There's some more when we get to the actual MRI machine, but like that was pretty much the whole deleted scene reel.
Amazing.
So now we're actually going to the MRI. Anything before that?
I love
wanted
how
to
the
know if
Office.
either. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I love how the Office and Parks and Rec have both MRI moments.
What's in the office?
When
remember that
Dwight
one.
gets his MRI and Michael's trying to stick his cast
Oh,
in.
Yeah.
that's right. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Is that an MRI or a CAT scan?
Oh, maybe it's a CAT scan.
I don't know. I'll have to
remember.
look it up.
Yeah. I think
well, he has a concussion, so it's probably a CAT scan.
yeah.
But it's
That's what I was going
Anyhow.
to say. Because when I got my second concussion, they were like, here are the bad things about a CAT scan. Here are the okay things about it.
Yeah.
Like, make your decision if you want it or not.
Yeah.
either way, they
You're
were
right.
inappropriately treated, both
Yes.
of them.
In a large
Yeah.
machine.
Oh my god,
The
it's
Scene is
so
bad.
wild.
So is this like after hours at the
Yeah.
hospital?
Yeah. And Leslie, I just don't understand why she had such bad luck or weird luck with dates. And he's taking it so seriously. He's like, well, frankly, I don't want to invest in someone who only has 3 months to live.
You know, I love how he has his coat on.
Yeah.
Like,
and his badge. He got really into it. And I did want to say, most of these hospital scenes where like Andy gets his cast off and where Anne works is at the St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, California, aka LA. But I don't know if this one is, because this one said, what did it say? The Pawnee like imaging something or other.
This one I
It's
feel like is
I
almost
don't know what it
easier to
was.
build on a set.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
Because
definitely
they're not
think you're
walking
right.
through the building. Like when Andy gets his cast off, they're walking through the hospital and stuff. So they probably want it to look more realistic.
Yeah, totally. And like that scene, I don't know if you remember, but like where when Andy's getting his cast off and like underneath, they're like looking from above down below, like on the little ramp thing when he's being wheeled in a wheelchair or whatever. Like that was at the St. Joseph place in Burbank. But like, yeah, this definitely, you're right, would be a little easier to build on a set.
Yeah.
Also, like, did they have to build an MRI machine? Or, like, I'm
sure
so
it's fake.
confused or interested about, like, if they went to a place with I'm sure because you have to be licensed or whatever to operate that. So I'm, like, confused or interested about how they did that. So, oh my God. And then he asks if she's on her period.
oh my
if
god, that is
matters.
the worst.
And he's like, not for
Not for
this.
So cringy.
So
I like
awful.
gross.
my
And the
stomach
look he
dropped.
gives to camera.
Ew. Sometimes smiling is read as AIDS. No,
No.
get out of here. Get out of here.
So bad.
Also, shouldn't she be in like a hospital gown or something? Like, can she go
She's
in with her full
sitting
clothes?
right
It
in.
depends on what you're getting MRI'd, I think.
It's a full body.
I feel like when it
weird
comes up
to
the
me.
scan, it's like her entire body.
Well,
is
yeah,
that
I
how
guess
it
that's
works?
So have either of you gotten MRIs?
I have, but I thought it was like just the.
I guess
like-
you can
like
get
the
a section
part.
of it.
Like,
Did
yeah,
you get
like
a
just
full
your-
body or did you
Mine
get...
was just my my arm. So,
Okay.
Okay,
Mine
that's
was
going to
my
go in the
arm.
recap. Like how MRIs work.
Yeah.
Mine was on my arm as well. And so I wore a tank top that day.
Okay.
And so they literally, I didn't take any, the only thing I took off was my sweater and I had my tank top on and
Yeah.
they set my arm for the scan.
Did your arm go in or did your
my
whole body, go in?
was in.
Your whole body goes
Okay.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're maybe he's just looking at her uterus and he's not even like.
Well, he looks at her head and her.
Oh, yeah, he
her
does look at the
oven,
brain.
her belly.
But they set things up, right? Did that happen on your arm, Sean? Like where they set things up so
God, I don't
I guess the
remember.
machine knows where the
Yeah,
the
I
imaging
think
is
so.
happening?
Yeah, I
So
do.
I could wear my pants with a zipper, but that would make me concerned if I'm getting a full body scan. Like, am I
Yeah.
supposed to be wearing buttons? I guess she was in a dress.
No, she was in pants. She was in a shirt and
She was
pants.
just like she didn't even take her jacket off.
No, she had a cardigan on too.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Either way, yeah, we'll have to research that.
yeah.
It's a
I was
nice
so
oven.
pissed at him though.
Yeah,
Because he's literally like, stay still, and then kept asking her questions.
yeah,
That's
like
the
in the
best
dentist office.
Gonna have
so
to
You have to
frustrated.
stay still, Leslie. Come on, we've talked about this. I've said it so many times.
I had to redo my MRI because of that.
Because you were
Really?
moving.
Like I was in
Oh.
the machine for over an hour, I think close to an hour and a half, because the way they situated my arm. Because you remember it was broken, Holly. I don't know if you
Yeah.
heard the story, Sean, but it snapped right on the ball of the elbow.
Yeah,
And then-
rugby.
They had to,
Oof.
they had to find out what was going on. But the way it snapped was it snapped this way, and then my shoulder went forward, and so it had to be reset. And the way they had to set it for the MRI, it had to be almost straight.
Yeah,
and my
I
muscles
remember that.
and my whole arm was doing this the whole time. It hurt so bad
Oh,
that
jeez.
they came in and they were like, "We're so sorry, but your arm was shaking the whole time, so we have to redo the entire thing." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So even like really
This is where they
small
put like
tremors
sandbags
the
in your arm
muscles-
or whatever, right?
They what?
Or you had to hold. This is where you had to like hold sandbags or something, right?
So, yeah, they had to put sandbags on my arm because it wouldn't stay.
Should have given you a Xanax or something.
I know, seriously.
Seriously,
Was this also ordered by the same doctor that like fucked everything up?
That told me my arm wasn't broken. Yeah.
Yeah, dumbass.
Oh, and then he sent in the request for the MRI and said scan right arm for left injury. And so I had to wait a month to get the MRI because he sent in the wrong request.
See, this is why I don't like doctors.
Fuck off.
No, but this shit happens. Anyhow,
I understand. There's another deleted scene that I will play for you for the MRI. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, this is free. Most people would die, I guess, to do this. That's kind of like an MRI joke.
Oh, that's, I guess, why I didn't think it was funny.
MRI amusing to you?
That's great.
Great. So, you kind of feeling the way that I'm feeling right now? The hum of the machine? Feeling those vibrations through your body?
Oh. I don't think so. I don't think I'm feeling...
You know, that particular model you're in right now, the 5600? It's actually built for two.
Okay, so I want to get out now.
And then back in with me.
No.
Oh.
Just want to... Let's go talk about this outside.
You know what you could use inside there? Is the acceptance of Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.
I knew it.
John came down to the river and he saw Mark and Paul.
Okay, whatever you say, I agree with. So you can let me out.
Oh, good. Well, I'll come get you and we'll pray together. Okay, let's get you out.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that is amazing.
This man.
Oh my
Wow.
god. I
Can
love
you
her line of,
imagine
like,
what
I knew it.
I knew it. That's like almost breaking. She's just like, I knew there was something fucking coming. I wonder what their home life would have been like. That is.
Oh my god,
Is it
too funny. Oh god. Anyway, that was so good. I don't know what was. Yeah, I would love to know what part was improvised. I know that the show, like a part where they're in the restaurant, probably is, but I don't know what in the MRI moment was.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, now back at Tom interviewing. Is that where you guys are?
Is this when he brings him into Iran?
No. So he's still interviewing a bunch of people. So Zach is the character name for the next person, and his name is Stephen Liu. Also didn't have a pic on IMDb, but he did have an email, so I emailed him just in case. Yeah, Maddie?
I have a comment for here because I don't know if this... No, it doesn't say it on the advertisement. Tom says it's for $19,000 a year.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
yeah, and then but like minus the 10% that he's going to take.
Right. I think it's $2,000 or whatever. Yeah. The 10% because it's, yeah. And I did the math. I didn't do the math. I asked Google to do the math for me because that seems like you can't survive on that now.
No,
and I was like, well, it's not the same. It's not the same
No.
now, right?
Right.
So I looked up if what $19,000 in 2009 is worth now, and it's $24,200.
That's poverty.
Which still
Anywhere.
would be really hard to live on.
Yeah, and it's not even that much because he still again has to take his 10%.
Right.
Yeah, and
Which
this guy
now is
Before
$2,400.
taxes, too.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Ridiculous. But this guy's name is Pete, is his character name, and his name in real life is Dominic Dirks. And he seemed the most up to date on his IMDb with like pics and vids and all that shit. But he's a writer actually on a bunch of things, including Workaholics, The Mick, and he does or did, I don't know if he still does now, but he did a bunch of UCB comedy shorts. And he was also a writer on Grindr, which is the show that Rob Lowe and Fred Savage were in at some point. And it was very short lived.
I remember that show.
Actually, yeah. Lucy, Tom's girlfriend, was in it very briefly, and I was an extra on it. And I like told her that I liked her wardrobe, and we talked for a brief moment. She's
That's
awesome.
cool.
I didn't really obviously I didn't say anything else, but she could have been mean, and she wasn't. So, also fun fact: this guy that would have to give 10%. He was born in Memphis, and I emailed him and his manager, and then he has like this out of office reply that says like this email isn't checked very often, so check /email our legal team. So I did that too.
There you go.
Which I think is weird because I don't want to email a lawyer to be on a podcast, but oh well.
Why not? You get it.
I don't know, just in case.
There are no rules.
But and then, oh my gosh, then he asks like what he gets out of it, and Tom says connections. That's such a sleazy Tom thing to do. You know, like that thing that you do when you're an intern too, where you're just like, you'll get networks and contacts and experience and exposure. And I'm just like, fuck you.
I need the money.
So
yeah,
sleazy.
and it's such like a look into like the pawnee little political world where it's just a drip down of like politics, but it's still like that little, well, you get connections and like all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I think Tom just feels so much lower on the totem pole than he wants to be.
Yeah.
That whenever he has the opportunity to have the upper hand over someone, he like really milks it. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And then this is where we get to the part about back at the MRI where where he says you've got to keep still, don't move. But again, like when you go to the dentist and ask questions with stuff in your mouth.
Wait, pause. Should I let them in? Is that going to be a problem?
Sure. Hi, guys.
Hi, puppies. You guys being good?
Hi, baby.
Okay, go lay down.
Oh my gosh, he's so fluffy.
I
This is
know.
a little wiener dog. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego.
Little wiener.
Diego's on the show before Tolan is. Tolan
Yeah.
is his dad.
Is Tolan going to come on?
I don't know. I want him to.
He doesn't really watch Parks, right?
Yeah, but I think it would be a really interesting perspective to get someone who hasn't watched it like 800,000 times through. You know what I mean?
Loser. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so she starts to tell this story of like when she broke her arm because he asks her that, and then he's like, "I can't believe I turned the machine off for that."
Yeah.
So bad.
So bad.
So bad.
Yeah, the foreshadowing about the oven. You got a great oven, ample room in there. Honestly, if you want to do triplets right off the bat,
Which
you
is
could.
crazy. I wonder if they like.
I know you got a big industrial sized oven.
Gross.
No, sometimes I wonder if like in the last season of things, if they like, you know, go back to one liners that they couldn't really expand upon, like even with Donna in the microwave situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did they really
must
plan?
have.
I don't know.
Because, like, how crazy it would have been if that was like an improv line.
Yeah.
He goes that, you know, and then they were like, oh, she
Yeah.
needs triplets.
Right,
Because
right.
she has triplets. It's not
She
just
does.
twins, right? Yeah, it's triplets.
Yeah,
Triplets.
because she's older. And,
Has a big
and
ass
Doctor,
oven.
what's his face is like, and I don't mean to sound insensitive, but it's what we in the biz called a going out of sale or going out of business
going out of
sale.
business sale or something like that.
Yeah, because she's older. It's technically like a geriatric pregnancy or whatever the
Yeah.
hell.
So
But anyway, so Leslie calls Anne to tell her how the date is going, and it is kind of annoying how Anne was like, "Oh my god, he's like perfect," and she didn't even know him that well.
Yeah,
like
that
just to
pissed
keep
me
her from
off.
going out with Justin. Like it's true that it's healthy. I like that part where she's like, "I think what you're doing is really healthy." That is true, but like she's just saying that to cover her own ass. I feel.
I
Yeah.
agree.
It's not a great thing.
No.
I can't,
And-
yeah.
And I thought the whole time I was watching this, I would never do this to Holly. That's what I felt the entire time.
No.
Is I would never do this to a friend who was asking to be set up. I would never just go find some random dude in my office. Like I would have to know the person and be like, okay, you guys have similar interests or your personalities will work really well together. But
Yeah.
it sounds like Anne just like went into the MRI department one day and was like, that guy doesn't look
Are you
ugly.
single? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's just like I don't know. I feel like if you would do that, you know, 90% of the times, you probably just get like a okay guy. Like this guy's like an insane person.
Yeah.
Right. She must
Andy as
not
a
know
kid.
him at all. Yeah. Or like, I feel like if you would have one interaction with that guy, you would know like he's a little crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Shitty
But
thing.
then Anne and Mark get into it like for real over Justin. And he's like, even I know that that's not something that you do when you're dating someone. You know what I mean? And
At
she
least
admits.
he calls
Yeah,
her on the shit. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is fucked up.
Yes. And she finally admits, like, yeah, okay, well, you know, you've never had someone that you just, like, you know, thought maybe if things were different, blah, blah, blah. And that's just not something that you say to your current
She
person.
said if he died in a city planning accident, then she would be with Justin.
What does that
I'm
look
like, girl.
Like
Oh, my God. Oh,
his
no.
drawing desk
That's
collapses on
crazy.
him.
Yikes. Well, then we go back to the MRI thing, and we see for a brief second that Leslie might have something wrong with her brain, and they're starting to
God.
freak out. And then he's like, "Oh no, it's just a smudge," and he gets all squirmy, and he's like, "Oh my God, you should get that checked out immediately." But then it's a smudge, and then he says, "Like, good thing I was here." What?
Can you imagine like the emotions
it,
in your
kill
body?
it.
Like I'm on a date, I'm on MRI. Oh my god, I have a tumor. Like
My God.
So many emotions.
Looks like we make a pretty good team.
this guy's talking about my uterus.
God, yes.
very bad.
Ugh, God, gross. Oh, I meant to say too, I really love, this is a joke in Friends too, but like this is a thing that people do in real life, especially I feel when like you're jealous of someone that your significant other is like talking to or like potentially into, where they like change the name so it's similar. He's like, oh, so you just go ahead and marry Dustin? And she's like, Justin.
Yeah.
That's such a good move, I feel.
Yeah.
Or like even if you're not dating the person, but like you're just jealous of who they're with or whatever. It's
Yes.
so funny.
Good little power grab.
Good little power grab. I was really proud of Leslie for saying like, because he goes, so back to your place, and she's like, no, I think this is gonna be our last date. I was really proud of her for saying that.
Get
And
your
then he leaves
MRI
her.
and get out. Like
This was your idea.
And they drove together.
so
awkward.
bad.
And then they go to pick up his son at a basketball game. Oh my God.
Which that's also like it's not a problem that he has a kid, but
Right. No.
this is the first time the kid's been mentioned the entire night.
I know, right?
And what would the
Yeah,
kid
like,
have done if they went back to her place?
Yeah,
who's gonna
also a
pick
good
Very good
question.
point. The kid's just gonna be at basketball practice.
Right. Also,
Thumbing
I
it
love.
home.
I think this is why I was deciding between the taxpayer line and this line, where he says, "Guess I'm not as good at tech as I thought I was. Should have noticed you're missing a heart."
Yeah, gross.
And his like Batman voice.
Yeah. A heart.
I
He
love
is
that.
He's Lego Batman,
Yep,
right?
he is. He is.
Side note, did you see the first Lego movie?
Yeah, Chris Pratt's in it.
It's
Yeah,
like so good.
Yeah,
They're
it's very
like
good.
surprising.
yeah.
I never
he's
saw the
amazing.
other ones, but
Yeah, I need to see the second one. And then didn't they have like one specifically that was just Batman?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lego Batman. Yeah,
Right.
The movie.
Right. But then anyway, so next morning Leslie comes in. Tom asks her how the date was.
I want
and
to throw up.
I know what you're talking about. But before that, she says that she got an MRI bill for $2,000, so we know that he charged her for it. And then she says,
That soon too. That's the
I
fastest
know!
fucking
He
Oh
was
billing
like,
I've
man, he
ever
was
Emailed it
like,
to her.
I'm fucking.
or dropped it off in the morning time or something. Oh my God. Well, then she says, I don't understand why Anne thought we'd be a good fit. And Tom says, oh, you slept together?
I missed that line. That's a great line. Oh man.
Not sexually. Ew. That's your boss also. Why are you
Oh.
talking to her like
Yeah.
that? Which
There are
also,
no
we're
boundaries
way
in
past
this
that.
office. There is nothing. There's no HR department here. There is nothing.
And then Justin comes by and he says, dope peacoat. I love that line too.
Dope peacoat.
Which it really is a dope peacoat.
Yeah.
He says he has the same one in extra small.
That's a small little man.
Oh my God.
I love this moment where Mark comes to Andy for support, which things are bad if Mark's
Yep.
going to Andy.
What a
but
low point.
Andy, I'm really, really proud of him in this episode because he goes and he talks to Anne for Mark. And even though he puts that little thing in like, choose between me or Justin.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she's like,
right.
oh, wait, I'm dating Mark. He's
Yeah.
like doing the right
He's
thing.
still
He's
trying
like,
to do the right thing.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't feel very good about myself, because you were always talking about how cool Justin was.
I love that
No?
line though, where he's like, when I was sitting on the couch and playing video games and all this stuff,
Only
I
my
started to feel
slippers.
bad about myself. Didn't you just explain why?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I understand the point of him trying to do like the right thing for Mark, but Mark says, don't tell Andy, or don't tell Anne. Like, I don't want this conversation to go past us. So I'm like,
But I don't think Andy explicitly makes it clear that he and Mark spoke. I think he just kind of comes out with it, right?
Oh,
He
I think
doesn't
it's
say I
clear.
talked to Mark.
yeah, but how would he know? You know what I mean?
Well, he
like,
could have seen Justin walking around the government building and just been like, "Hey, I didn't."
well,
like
because then she
Justin."
says, like, why are you and Mark talking? You know
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know. The
she
way that
does.
I perceived
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean-
more of
Okay.
like, she knows. But
Their
I mean, I get what you're
relationship
saying.
is just doomed.
It
I mean,
is.
it has
It's-
too many problems.
It's wrong from the start.
Yeah.
Why is he still in the show? No, I'm
Yeah,
just
but he
kidding.
does have a sad moment where Andy is like, and then he tries to trick her.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm dating Mark.
He also has this really nice moment when April's trying to ask him, why is Anne sad? And he's like, it's not my business. You know, like I thought that was
yeah.
pretty grown up too.
When that's so funny when April comes up and did something wrong? What'd she do wrong?
Yeah, right.
I love that. But now we're at where Leslie is reading the letter that Justin wrote. They're talking about all this cease and desist mess and the F-bomb of frivolous.
Yeah, frivolous.
He gets a little closer to take a look over her shoulder as she's reading this letter. I feel like he lingers as he shakes her hand, has a little eye contact moment.
Yes.
He is super cool. He's like, gives off a swagger moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm attracted to him, but I think his personality and this
He
part
frustrates me. And it's like, well, I don't know if it's because of like the next episode when he was really just like, he's like too much of that guy that is like, I got this when I was traveling to
okay.
whatever the hell. I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe it's not so much in this episode, but
Yeah.
there is
You just
something
already
about
have
him where
feelings
I'm
about
just
him.
like, ugh, come on, man.
okay.
You're just a little fake.
Interesting. Okay.
But
I liked it.
he's no Ben Wyatt, so
That's true. You're right. You're right. But Justin Theroux, like in real life, is what I feel.
yeah.
But I don't like
he
the
is
hair
hot,
that
but
they
he
did
has.
in this.
That's what I was just about to say. Bad hair. It's like
I don't know why they did his hair
It's
like
like
that.
matted
He
to
must
his
have had
head.
some sort of like part that they had to like
Yeah.
shave his head or something.
it's not good.
I don't know.
But he has good hair.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And then he walks out and Donna says, "Why don't you hit that?" And I love how Leslie responds like professional yet trying to get with the slang kind of, where she's like, "Well, frankly, I'd like to hit that."
Yeah.
But April, Anna's being
Anne's
weird
being
about
weird
it.
about it.
And then Donna says that thing about like, well, maybe she has him on hold. And it's funny that Donna knows what that is before Leslie like even really thinks about.
You know, Donna has a lot of people
Oh.
on hold.
Oh, you know that's right. You know it.
He is holding a farm. Just a slew of
Farm animal.
meat.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, well, do we have anything to say before our first Jean Ralphio appearance?
Oh my god, this is so
No,
good.
I just love
can't
him.
believe this is his first
Oh my
one.
God, yes. I thought he comes much later. I didn't realize how soon he comes in. But
I don't know if he comes in that much more before like he's in the show. You
Right,
know, it's
for
like
real.
very like
Yeah, it's very interspersed.
but God,
and that
he is
was
just fully formed as a character
Oh, yeah.
just right out of the
that's
bat.
his
No
improv.
questions. Yeah. He knows who he is, Jean Ralphio.
Absolutely. So, as a refresher, Tom says he found Ron an assistant, and then Jean Ralphio comes in, and he's already discussing, like, objectifying April to Ron,
That's
his
right.
potential new boss. Like, you know, who is that haughty intern? Like, what? Also, his hair. His hair is so fully formed. Like you said, everything is just big
just already
and
ready.
voluptuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, at the end, I know this is a stupid like detail that I noticed, but his handshake, where like John Ralphio goes in to shake Ron's hand, and like John Ralphio leaves his hand like straight, while
Yeah.
Ron is trying to like have an actual handshake, and it's so weird and awkward.
It's almost like he wants him to kiss him.
yeah,
Like-
exactly. And then Ron, I want to punch you in the face so bad
Punch you
right
in the
now.
face so
To
bad
Tom.
right now.
But long story short, I did message him, John Ralphio, aka Ben Schwartz, on whatever email he had for his agent. Him and somebody else have the same like agency. I don't think it's the same agent, but same agency. So I emailed them, Instagram and Twitter, and I'll be commenting, I'm sure, on like anything else that he posts. He seems like such a cool dude, so I'm sure if we got into the right hands, like he would message back or say something.
Yeah,
But-
come on, man.
But we'll get him. So
I will
tried.
cry. I will cry if we interview him. Like, I already have tears starting in my eyes. I would be so excited. I love him
That'd be
so
very
much.
I think it would happen. I think it's a very realistic possibility. So we'll see.
Well, I gained more respect for him after I watched Middleditch and Schwartz. So if people haven't watched that, like,
I've never seen that. That's
it's
good.
so
really good.
funny.
It's on
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's really good.
Oh no, I have seen that. That's the improv
The
thing.
improv.
Oh yeah, that is so good. Yeah.
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 Very
well,
good.
and then like Space Force. Is that the name
Oh,
of the
yeah.
episode? That, I
Yeah.
mean, that was not my favorite show in the world, but I really liked him.
God, I
Yeah,
wish
he was
that was
good.
so much better than it was. Yeah,
We had pizza out of it.
that's
so-
right.
Anyways, no, it was, yeah. We're not going to get into that. So, anyways, April and Andy are now talking at the shoe shine stand, and she talks up Mouse Rat, and she says, like, that band's #1 on iTunes, blah, 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 blah. And then he sells a CD, and then Andy comes, like, gets close to her and says, "You are amazing. I like it when you hang out here." It's so sweet. I took a picture of her face when he says that because it's so good. Her reaction of like,
Yeah.
oh, I love you so much.
And his like one and only client is like hanging out.
Kyle
is just there.
Kyle, I have a thing to tell you.
Oh yeah.
I messaged his agent. His agent forwarded it. We are interviewing Andy Forrest, aka Kyle.
Oh, very cool.
What a time.
He was so fast at responding to me. Kyle, aka Andy Forrest, thank you so much for responding. Also, his name is Andy, which I think is hilarious.
Wow. Are you doing a
great.
full? Oh, very cool.
We're going to do a full interview.
Very cool.
He was super fast, and I'm super excited to talk to him. So we'll get some moments with Kyle. He's in so many episodes, you guys.
He is.
So many, even if he doesn't have any lines. So I'm very interested to see how that all worked.
Yeah.
And, so if you have questions for him, let me know. I don't think I've done that before where I've said who I'm interviewing next. So on the pod anyway.
Yeah, get your questions.
Get your questions in. But this guy who bought the CD is named Eric Edwards, and the latest thing that he was in 2016, so I don't know if he's still doing stuff in the industry, but he was fun, and I did message him as well, so we'll see. But yeah, I just can't get over that Andy Forrest messaged me back. That's so cool.
That's exciting.
But I needed to give Eric Edwards his due diligence, so. Anyway, so after that, do you have anything before that section?
Then when April walks in? Mm-hmm. No, that's my next note.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd love to hear everyone else's thoughts, but my thought was basically, so she walks in, she says she wants to be the assistant, and that's because Andy said, I like you being here. And so now she's like, I'm going to do whatever I can to stay here. And if I'm going to stay here, I should get paid for it too.
Yeah. Her mission now is to get Andy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if
should you choose to accept it, to doink Andy.
I feel like anybody who's had a crush like that can relate. Like if the person
your
gives
blinders
feedback,
go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of I like you here. You're like, what can I do to keep feeling this feeling?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and on the flip side too, I think it's twofold. Not only are you seeing a relationship blossom between April and Andy, but you're seeing now Ron and April are going to become very close work proximity associates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
love
huge,
it.
huge relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's so into having her there because he has the same sensibilities and work ethic as her. It's awesome.
Well, and she and Ron care the same amount about the job.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The
That's what I
reason
mean
Tom
by
wasn't a
quote
good
unquote
fit,
work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason Tom wasn't a good fit is because Tom cares. He doesn't care about this job, but he
just
cares
cares in
about
general.
things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when he gets hyped up about something, he really cares and he puts the effort in. Whereas Ron and April don't really care about anything.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. They're
yet.
starting to, which is
Yeah.
wild. But yeah, that's totally true. And I definitely think that is why she stays for Andy. And then we've got Anne coming back and giving Leslie this info to meet Justin for a date tonight. And this is where she accidentally gives the prescription for someone else. And then Leslie is cute and she's like, if there's something going on with you, it's totally fine. It's not a big deal, whatever. And Anne's like, no, it's all good. And then she's going on a pride swallowing tour of City Hall, which I thought was really a fun way to say that she's going to go try to apologize to Mark. Who is Mark talking to? As
Himself.
I don't know.
I was
Is
thinking
it?
that too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I
I was
100% was like, yeah, I do that shit.
Yeah, this is why I lose stuff. As he's
Oh,
taking
yeah,
something out of
yeah.
his bin. I've never seen District 9. Have you guys seen that movie?
No, I was thinking that. I don't know.
It's it's an extraterrestrial space alien movie.
Wonder what the ending is. We'll have to watch it.
I know, we will have to watch it. Yeah, dark ending, right?
I love that line so much.
I know. But yeah, he does spoil it. And then they meet for dinner and they don't really talk too much about, I wonder if this is the same restaurant. It looks like it is.
It looks like it.
As the, I was thinking as the next episode. When they actually, because they actually go to dinner a handful of times. Because she goes to Indianapolis to hang out with him. So I wonder if it's the same one.
But aren't the restaurant scenes in Indianapolis?
Yeah, for that one. So I didn't know if she went to Indianapolis tonight.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Maybe not. It could have just been the same restaurant as the one with Will Arnett, aka Chris, or just a new one.
Whatever.
Who's
All
to say?
restaurants look
But the
the
restaurant
same.
looked cool. So
Yeah.
also I really like this talking head of him getting back on the horse. So I'm looking forward to riding him. No, wait.
Wait.
No. So good. And that is the Jerry moment.
Yeah, well, so they're celebrating April's new... Did you have anything to say for that, Maddie?
for the writing
dinner.
him.
Oh,
Yeah.
or that,
Did you have
yeah.
anything about that?
No, I have that quoted because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, so now they're back at City Hall and they are celebrating April getting this new position.
Is this a revenge move on April's part?
No, I mean, it could be, I'm sure, but I just took it as she has to take Jerry's desk to be closer to Ron, you know, because he's her assistant. But before that, too, I love that Leslie spells out, like, before this, she didn't give a CRAP about government. As if it's a bad word.
I also love that they have champagne for everyone but April. Like, why are you all toasting with something she can't even drink?
Yeah. I would do that probably, but it's okay. Whatever. She does have something different because she's underage, which even though she's, you know, clearly drank on government property before, but now they're all watching her. So she can't do that. But anyway, yeah, so Jerry is like, I want to talk to Ron about the size of my desk and the location of it because it's really, he's like butthurt about it. I know. And he doesn't drink the champagne because he's like mad about it. And he's like, she's like, you have to make an appointment. And he's like, what about right now? And she's like, he's not here. He's right there.
I love the way he's just standing so close to the window staring at Jerry.
And then he's like, atta
Poor
girl.
Jerry.
I know, it's so sad.
But it is a beautiful moment in their friendship.
Yeah. Ron's so in love with, not in love, but like so into having April as his assistant. He's like really thinking he made the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's making $20,000 a year.
I know. I really like when they like
she lives with her
cheers
parents though, so.
That's true. She doesn't have any
saving some money.
Rent to do. But yeah, when they lift their glasses together, she like lifts her champagne glass over her head to cheers through the wall, essentially. Love that.
Love it.
Love it. Well, that was the setup. Anything
it's a
else
good
left
episode.
to say?
There's a lot of character development and all of like, there's just a lot. John Ralphio, April and Andy.
There is so much going on, I feel.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, we started the, episode off being so detailed.
Yeah.
Like with all those people.
A lot of new characters.
Yeah. Norquist suing people.
Yeah.
I think they just had so much. They fit so much in this episode. You think about how many scenes there were and everything back and forth. Like they were just like, no, we're not going to do a cold open. We just got to jump in.
Yeah. And maybe I'm crazy, but I really do feel like I'm starting to see a bit of a style now that I've seen Troy Miller's like cuts, if you will. I'm starting to see like how he jumps back and forth between scenes in a good way, I feel. Because the last one that he did was, what was the last one that he did? Oh, Tom's Divorce, where I felt like they were kind of going back and forth like a lot. But I mean, they all do that. But Christmas Scandal was worse. I can't remember. And by worse, I just mean like it was. That was so Randall Einhorn, where he's got the editing brain. So he was just like flipping back and forth between all those storylines. Whereas Troy, I felt like was a little bit more seamless, even though there was so much shit going on. Like it was just, it seemed a little bit more like a line or a linear moment, even when you've got the B lines and like branches off. So maybe that was a little nerdy, but I liked it.
Yeah.
So starting to see.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's our cue.
Well,
if you haven't rated, reviewed, or subscribed yet, please do that. We appreciate all of the time that you've given us and all the reviews that you have been giving us because we've definitely gotten more. So let us know if there's anything else. Super fun. Thank you, Sean, for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. So much
Yes,
fun.
it's
I
always
love
so fun.
this. Very fun. It's good seeing you, Maddie.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. And congrats on the dress. I don't think I've seen you since then.
Yeah,
no, I think the last time we talked, I was going dress shopping.
You were going. Yeah. So exciting.
That's right. So
Very
fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, we'll probably have a bit of a therapy moment coming next time. But for now, we thank you and we appreciate you. And Hudson and Diego say goodbye to everyone.
Little peppers.
And if you haven't listened to April Eden, please do that because that was such a good
I need
episode.
to go do that.
It was
I haven't
really
listened to
fun.
that one.
So we really
she
thank
was
April.
great.
And we'll also see you for Andy Forrest, a.k.a. Kyle. So
That's
exciting.
very exciting.
Woo! All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
And have a lovely week.
Bye.
Yay.
Yay.
There's a Parkinson Pals and there's also therapy too.